This year, we are granting 6 awards to UMass alumni and friends, who throughout different career stages have made deep impacts in their pursuit of excellence. They are the flagship's finest. These UMass community members have translated their UMass Amherst experience into exceptional achievements, embodying the revolutionary spirit that is the essence of UMass. We would like to recognize and celebrate their accomplishments today.
I've had a really long and traditional journey in some ways through journalism, and it became a chance to live on the edge of history.
Charlie went on to have an extraordinary career. Then in 2014, he started a grassroots nonprofit news organization called the Ground Truth Project, which drew on Charlie's lifelong interest in history.
I'm proud of our country. I'm proud to be a journalist, but I never thought I would be feeling that need for a call, an almost patriotic call to service, to say to a new generation of journalists, you have to come forward as truth tellers because journalism is in crisis.
The 2 most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you realize why you were born. And I was born to do this.
As the first woman of color to serve as a Massachusetts district attorney, Rachael Rollins inspires all of us with everything she's accomplished, personally and professionally.
As a biracial woman, as a person with a criminal defense background and a prosecutorial background, as someone who has loved ones who have cycled in and out of the criminal legal system and loved ones who have been members of law enforcement in the criminal legal system, I believe I am so uniquely qualified to do this job with the respect of both experiences, but also the ability to talk truthfully and honestly to each side when they are doing well and when they aren't doing their best either. So my passion comes, I think, from just my life.
One of the things that I appreciate about Ben is his entrepreneurial spirit and his desire to really change the world.
I suffered a really bad concussion while at UMass playing hockey. That really drove me to look for better solutions in the concussion diagnostic space. That's what led me to start my first company, Voxel AI, and now what really gets me excited is finding more entrepreneurs that I can help. And so we're really focused on and kind of double-clicking on mission-driven entrepreneurs.
It's been really rewarding to watch him take what he learned at the University of Massachusetts and the skill sets that he honed here and go out and do great things post-UMass.
Dick really cares about UMass and the college and the students. His time here was the beginning of his professional life, and he wants to pay that forward.
Somebody that made your life better, you have an obligation to give back. In fact, when I started trying to give something back to the university, we tried to persuade the college to develop an integrated sciences curriculum that had classes all together. And so each group would learn the language of the other skill, and they carry that through to their jobs. And so the students are in huge demand. It's one of the things I feel proudest about in my whole career is having been involved in the startup of Icons.
Dick's vision at that time has really created an amazing program for students to solve really complex problems as a team.
I make films because it's a way to share the stories, nursing stories and patient stories from their perspective.
What Sue has done and what she continues to do inspires us all that we could always be striving to do better. And I appreciate the fact that she's one of the people as an alum who pushes us to do that. And we need that. We need people who are going to challenge us and support us at the same time.
You don't have to be that radical. I just push the boundary a little bit.
Sue and her filmmaking have really brought to light the need to address racism in nursing. And so being able to engage students in these topics during their program, I think will be hugely impactful to how they lead as nurses in their future.
It was really clear from the get-go how much they cared about the younger generation. They just are genuinely warm and loving individuals.
My dad was a pilot in the Air Force and then ultimately was in charge of training and education at NASA. Throughout his career, he always had a passion for making sure that more students of color from underserved communities would go into STEM disciplines.
We really wanted to think about the notion of how can these students get exposed to college campuses? How can they get exposed to a college environment? How can they get exposed to a college level curriculum? And so they can have more of a hands-on feel for what it would be like to actually pursue a STEM-related academic career.
My dad would be so incredibly proud of what we've been able to accomplish and the impact that we've had.
As we celebrate the accomplishments of our alumni and friends, we also recognize that their ongoing support of the university helps provide opportunities for current and future students. Together, we are forging a bright future for UMass.
I have never made a better decision than to go to UMass, and it's supported an approach to trying to understand the world that I carry with me every day.
After visiting UMass, it just felt right. Really loved the wide open spaces, and I never looked back.
UMass is amazing. That's where I feel like I got the skills to really thrive in the role that I have.
The principal thing I got from chemistry was the difference between correlation and causality. And if you can learn that, it'll get you a long way.
Don't think about me as revolutionary. Think about UMass as revolutionary.
When I think about UMass, I think about change.
Thank you, UMass, for seeing the future and acting on it.